Hi, everyone. It's your favorite HVAC sales guru here, Charlie, with no sweat sales formula. And today, we're going to talk about a very interesting, sometimes, especially for sales beginners, counterintuitive concept. Guys, HVAC, or any industry really, they have its own language. And it took me the better part of a decade to learn it, and I'm still learning. But the good news is, you don't have to be fluent in it to sell. In fact, too much tech talk is definitely crippling your sales numbers. So let's fix that. Here's what to say instead. First, we're going to cover some key examples of the kind of industry language I'm talking about. Then, what signals our customers are giving us that our sales presentation just might not be landing. Finally, I will give you some alternatives and a few parameters we can use when discussing our products and services to make sure that we aren't losing prospective sales by simply going over a customer's heads or confusing them. Sound good? Still with me? Great, let's begin. Picture this. You're plodding along, talking at your customer, and suddenly their eyes glaze over. Have you ever been there? It's time to reel it back. I look at this like a sliding scale between features on the left, the technical side, and benefits on the right, the customer or end user side. Our job is to know where on that fader our presentation needs to sit for a given audience. For example of this, let's look at SEER ratings. This one gets a lot of customers confused. I could tell them that this rating is a coefficient of efficiency derived from BTU per hour over input wattage at 1/2 an inch water column with a weighted average of 58% output capacity, blah, 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 blah. And while this will certainly demonstrate that you have a deep knowledge of the product, the chances of this knowledge helping you close the sale, pretty slim. In fact, it might even alienate a large percentage of non-technical customers. A handy way to reframe the customer's question that serves as a reminder to yourself that, hey, maybe this isn't about me, it's about my prospective customer, is to add the phrase to me after the customer's potentially technical questions. So, hey, what does SEER 2 rating mean becomes, what does SEER 2 rating mean to me? If you're like most savvy salespeople, you won't have to use these training wheels very long. But do you see the difference? Melinda, who knows that you have a product that can make her home more comfortable, doesn't need to take an exam after your interaction today. She doesn't need to know exactly how you help her arrive at the conclusion that you have the best offer she will hear today. She only needs to feel that way. This is where the nuance of top performing salespeople lies. You guide your customer to this conclusion. She doesn't care how smart you are, so don't let your ego get in the way. That's a huge rookie mistake, and it's a red flag to your customer that every time they have a simple question, you're going to mansplain, belittle their lack of knowledge, and make them feel stupid. What are they going to do? Well, if they're like 99% of people, they might stop asking you questions and just go with someone else who gave off better vibes. Like any good card shark, your job becomes to read the room. You tailor your level of technicality to the present company. Perhaps Melinda's husband, Dan, does want to know a little bit more about the inner workings of the machine that you want to sell him. Or maybe he doesn't. Either way, what they really want is for you to make an impression without being overbearing. And they want to know that your assessment of their needs is done in short order, you get their questions answered, and you get them on with their day. They want to be left feeling seen, heard, and like you're only a text, email, or phone call away just in case any more questions arise. That's it. You give them a few options, maybe a good, better, best if applicable, and you follow up in a reasonable duration of time. You'd be surprised how simple it all sounds, and yet how complex we all tend to make it. You will know if you're on the right track when your customer nods along, has open body language, asks great follow up questions, and asks you about scheduling or how soon they can get started as you answer their questions. You will know that you're not on the right track if any of the following occur. Number one, they keep jumping ahead. They interrupt or ask questions that you already answered or are clearly just about to cover. This shows that they're just mentally elsewhere. They're waiting for their turn to talk, or they just want to control the conversation. Number two, their body language is disconnected. They're checking their phone, their eyes are darting around the room, they're looking around, or their posture is just slouched away from you. These are all just classic signs of disengagement. Number three, they give generic nods or with zero follow up. They respond, but it's mechanical. No real curiosity, no deeper questions. It's just noise to keep things moving. They're not internalizing anything. Number four, they ask unrelated or repetitive questions. If they ask something you've already covered or they shift the topic randomly, it means they either zoned out or they just never locked in to begin with. Number five, and finally, they just don't react to emotional or high stakes moments. When you say something with urgency, impact, or emotion, and the customer doesn't even flinch, lean in, or change their expression, it didn't land. They're just not present. So, how should we handle that customer's question about SEER rating? Hey, Mr. Salesman, I did a little research and I saw that the SEER rating is important. What does a SEER 2 rating mean? And what is the SEER 2 rating of this unit that you're describing? Remember, let's use our little training wheels and reframe that question in our head. What does SEER 2 ratings mean to me? And what is the rating of this unit? Okay, great question, Mr. Johnson. You see that Jeep Cherokee in your driveway? The best way to compare efficiencies across car manufacturers is miles per gallon, right? City and highway. Well, I like to think of the SEER 2 rating of an AC unit as the mile per gallon of HVAC units, simply a way to compare efficiencies across unit lines and manufacturers. That's it. A SEER 2 increase of 1 point usually correlates with about 4 to 5% lower runtime costs on average. And the SEER 2 of this particular unit that we're discussing today is ... You get the idea. So Mr. Johnson will feel like you heard him and you gave him just enough of an answer to satisfy his curiosity. He'll be a lot more likely to spend his hard-earned dough with your company because you work for them, and it's ultimately you who won him over. So in conclusion, think of a poker player reading the room, or a magician who wows you with the illusion without having to explain how it works on a technical level. This will make you want to see more of the show, and it's honestly the sweetest part of what we do. If you get nothing else from this video, please remember it is about feeling, and it's impossible for me to overstate the importance of creating warm and helpful feelings with everyone you interact with. Plant a seed, make enough of an impression to earn their trust. Later, we can close the sale and begin yet another customer relationship that will serve both parties for years to come. Later, we can become technical if we're solving a problem at their home, but not now. That's all, folks. Guys and gals, if you got value from this technique and you want to learn more, join us in our 90-day Sales Hero Bootcamp, where we take you from zero to hero in just 3 months so you can double your income and free up a lot of time wasted on leads that didn't close. Also, if you like my top 10 business development and networking hacks for getting even more ready to close HVAC customers in your inbox, be sure to comment, "Show me the way" below this video, and I will send you my best tips and tricks absolutely free. Lastly, drop me some of the most technical questions you get and how you deal with them in the comments section so we can start a conversation for other sales beginners to get over the hump. Remember, if you confuse, you lose. Until next time, guys, be well. This is Charlie with No Sweat Sales Formula signing off.